All right, it is, if you can believe this, the first Thursday class of November and our ninth week of NHA. And we have 9 straight weeks without a break. But for your benefit, next Tuesday, there's no NHA because of Veterans Day. And then we're going to take our math off as well on Thursday. So we won't have class again until a week from Tuesday, which would be at NHA on November, looks like 18th. And then we'll have class that whole week, Tuesday and Thursday both. And then we have the next week completely off as well for our Thanksgiving. And then we come back after Thanksgiving. We have 3 weeks of NHA and we have the winter break. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send your uh, contact email through NHA database. Could be you if your email's on there as well. Maybe yours is, or maybe it's not. But for sure, your parents or guardians or ES or whoever receives the email, they're going to receive an email probably tomorrow or maybe Monday from me, and it'll give a link to the YouTube channel. And so all these are recorded, and you can go back and get caught up. What you'll want to do is by the time we get back on Thursday or Tuesday, the 18th, you want to be completed with lesson 38. And so that would be a little bit of time for you if you're not quite caught up. Next week will be golden opportunity to get yourself caught up. All of the videos are on the YouTube channel that we do on Thursday. If you go back a year or 2 years, you're most likely going to find the Tuesday lessons that were last year on Thursday. So if you need like lesson, 30, let's say, if you go on to the YouTube channel, you might be able to find that last year, a year ago. You have to scroll down, look. It might take a little bit of conniving, but you should be able to do that. So, all right, we had Zinnia and Danica jump on, and so fantastic. Are your sisters close by, either one of you? I just talked to Joseph's sister, who was a student of mine last year, and very, very nice. So, if you have Olivia or Elizabeth close by, tell them to jump on and say hello to Mr. Soto. And because, again, students who should be in my Algebra 2 class who are not, but that's okay. And I am recording, right? Yes, I am. Okay, I want to make sure I'm recording. All right, let's take our sheets here. And so, yeah, if Olivia or Elizabeth are close by and they can jump on, say hello to Mr. Soto, that would be grandiose. And we'll do lesson 37, then lesson 38. Let's roll. Zinnia says she's in her own Zoom too. She better not be doing math on Zoom. If she's doing math, she's in big trouble. Is she doing math right now on Zoom? Better. Okay. Not close by. All right. Here we go. Oh, biology. Okay. She doing biology. Give her a break. Give her a break. All right. I take offense when students who I've taught don't take my classes the next year. It hurts my little heart. And but anyways, let's go to lesson 37. We're gonna look at this problem right here. Let me get the white screen up and out, and let's roll. We have 5. We have 3 plus 3 minus 1 plus 6. They're going to ask you what order you do. When you have a bracket and a parenthesis inside of a bracket with our PIMDIS, oops, that's a B. You're going to do a PIMDIS inside of a PIMDIS. So this bracket here, you go out and work in, if that makes sense. So because of that, you got to go in to work out. I think that'll make sense in a second. That sounds kind of confusing how I said it. So in order to complete this bracket, you have to do this first, because inside this, brackets fall under the parentheses. So I got to simplify this. And so inside this, I have to also do a PIMDIS, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Okay, so I have to do this, which is a parenthesis inside of this first parenthesis. Okay. And then if there's other functions that I have to do, I'm going to have to do those. And you could have another PIMDIS as well. And if we get to one like that, I'll show you in a bit. And so what we would do is then the first thing we'd do is we'd add 3 plus 3 together because of the parentheses here. Then we'd subtract 1 from that total. Then we'd multiply that by 5, and then we'd add 6 when it's all said and done. So your answer to number 1 is letter B. First, add here. You might say, well, Mr. Soto, why aren't we multiplying by 5? Because that comes before subtracting by 1. The reason being is you have to complete this bracket first because that's your first parenthesis. And inside that, you have another PIMDIS, which is the parenthesis here. And then you're going to subtract. Once you've simplified that, you go back to this multiplication here, which is multiplying all that by 5. Okay? Count of 3. Does that make sense? Thumbs up if it does, thumbs down if it doesn't. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. You do number 2, then see if you can get the correct answer for number 2. You know, 7, 8, 9 thumbs up and a Santa Claus. I bet you Abby gave me the Santa Claus because she gave me a Santa Claus earlier. So. Santa Claus is coming to town. I better not sing. I'm going to get myself in trouble. All right. I see answers. They're correct so far. Everybody who sent me an answer has gotten it correct. Everybody who sent me an answer has gotten it, has been correct. Good job, good job, good job, good job. So I'm going to do the 10 minus 7 first. Then I'm going to multiply the 2 because that we're still doing the bracket, right? Then I'm going to add the 4 because addition comes after multiplication. And then at the very end, we're going to multiply everything by 4 because so we got a PIMDIS inside of a PIMDIS. And again, so I think you're getting that. You're working your work because you have to do the outside. In order to do the outside, you have to work your way from the inside out with another PIMDIS, if that makes sense. All right, so let's try and actually do one then. Those are just order. I'll do number. Okay, so I know that my writing is not very clear here, but you have it in front of you. So the bracket's my first thing to do because it's part of this. Inside the bracket is another parenthesis. So I'm going to say 1 plus 6 times 2. Very poor penmanship. I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to write the whole thing again. I'm going to rewrite the whole thing again. I'm mad at my penmanship there. So I do the bracket first. But in order to do the bracket, I have to do the parentheses inside the bracket in order to do the bracket. So I have 1 plus 6 times 2. Okay. Now I'm still doing the bracket. I did the parentheses inside the bracket. Now I'm going to do the multiplication inside the bracket. So I have 1 plus 12. I'll just make this an outside bracket because that one instead of parentheses. And I don't mind if you combine a couple steps as long as you're not breaking any rules. Negative 26 is my answer. All right, for number 3. Thumbs up if you got that and understand how I got it. Thumbs down if you're lost. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. cool beans. Let's do this. I want you to do number four. Send me over an answer when you get the correct when you get your answer, and we'll let you know if it's correct while I write it down. All right, I've seen one correct answer and one incorrect answer. Won't tell you who's who and what's what and how's how. And okay, okay. A few of you are correct, Mundo. A few of you are not correct. Oh, that's why we're here. That's why Mr. Soto's here. I can't tell you which is the correct ones yet. If you sent me over an answer, you may or you may not be correct. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, if you're not, no worries. Mr. Soto is here to help you out. In order to do this bracket first in PIMDIS, I have to complete another PIMDIS inside. So my first thing is this bracket that's right here. That's this P. Inside that, I have another parenthesis, which is the 9 minus 5. So that's the first thing I'm going to do on my doing my first PIMDIS here. So 9 minus 5 is going to be 4, right? Okay. Inside this PIMDIS, I already got the parenthesis done. So now I'm going to have to do the multiplication next. Okay. So a negative 2 times a positive 4 is a negative 8. So I have 10 minus 8. Okay. And now I have to subtract. This is my second PIMDIS, the bracket. I went from this is the arrow goes here and I'm going down. Okay. So now I have 10 minus 8 is going to be 2. And I have 3 times 2. Now I'm back to the original PIMDIS, which is multiplication. This 3 times this 2 is 6. If you got 6, you got the correct answer. Okay? Let's do this because that was so much fun. Let's try number 5. See if we can get number 5 correct.
Wait, why would the 4 times 1 be 5?
I got ahead of myself there. Throw me a hash mark in there. I was about to change it. I should have said something because I caught it too. Yeah! I got one ahead of myself and I was about to change it. I'm so mad right now. I am so mad right now. I am so mad right now. Okay, let's see what we have. I'm so mad. You know what I'm mad at mostly? Abby. How many hash marks do I have, Abby? 17 now?
You have 12 now.
Oh, 12 now. Oh, it's my other class. I was at 16. Oh, I got lots. It's my Algebra 2 class. I think I have 16 right now in Algebra 2. Oh, my goodness. Oh, crazy. All right. 6 or 17. Let's do it. There's your answer. Again, good catch, Abby, on that. I got one step ahead of myself. 6 minus 5 is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 2 is 27. All right. 6 and 7 no, 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 are pretty well. You got variables there. So let me do those ones. I was going to say that's basically the same thing, but you have variables, so I better do those too. And because there is something different here with that. Okay, now watch and pay special and close attention. You might say, well, this parenthesis here is first, and inside this parenthesis, I have to do another PIMDIS, and I have to do this parenthesis in here. However, we know we cannot add a variable to a whole number, or any number for that matter that's not a variable. So I must use the distributive property in the PIMDIS in order to simplify the bracket. So I'm going to say this 3, I have to multiply 3 times x and then 3 times a negative 1 first. So I have 7 plus 3x minus 3, because the 3 has to be multiplied by this negative 1, then multiplied by 2. Now watch. Inside this bracket, I have to combine like terms. So I have a positive 7 and I have a negative 3. So I'm going to rewrite this as 3x plus 4, because we should make it in descending order. Any term that has a variable will appear before a term that doesn't. And if a variable has a power, you do them in descending order, like x to the third, then x to the second, and then x then to the whole number. So now I'm going to use the distributive property again, multiply by both spots. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 4 is 8. There's nothing else I can do here. This is its simplest form. Letter E is the answer. Okay, let me show you again. Because we can't simplify this parenthesis because the x and the whole number, we have to use distributive property to simplify, then combine like terms, and then go to as simple as you can get. On the previous ones, there wasn't a variable, so you just keep on getting down to just one number. Here, this is the simplest form. That being said, I'd like for you to do number 7, and you, A, B, C, D, or E, you tell me what it is. I'm going to go ahead and work on this while you're working on it. Don't be looking at the screen, you little cheaters. Do it on your own. Little cheaters. Cheetahs never prosper. That's what Zazu said on The Lion King. My wife and I randomly quote the Lion King at least 2 or 3 times a week. First movie we saw together married was The Lion King, which came out in 1996. We were married in 1995. We were so busy the first year of our marriage, we never saw a movie together. I was still in college. I was 22. My wife was 20. I'm not sure when Lion King came out, but I was married in 95. It was about a year after it came out we saw it. Mr. Soto, I have no idea what you're talking about. Cool. All right, so let's walk through this. Here's the original problem. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. Combine the x and the 3x, get 4x plus 6. I have the parenthesis with the 2 outside. The 2 times the 4x is the 8x. The 2 times the 6 is the 12. I have 8x plus 12 minus 5. 12 minus 5 is 7. Our simplified form is 8x plus 7, letter D. Good job for those who sent me over letter D. All right, let's do number 8. We'll solve for x. So here, let me re-explain this. You say, Mr. Soto, you say the same thing. That's okay. It's good. Repetition is the key to learning. When you have an equal sign, this is the first problem we have with an equal sign. You're going to use inverse operation to solve for x. Before you can do that, you have to simplify either side of the equal sign as simple as you can get it, with the whole goal of eventually getting x all by itself. That is the correct answer, Sophia. You are one step ahead of everybody, but hold your horses till I get it done. I won't tell you what she put there. Did she say that to everybody? Oh, that's to me. Okay, good. Okay, so here we go. 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay. 2 times 4 is going to be 8. Okay. I mean, you don't have to always write all this extra stuff in here while you're doing it. I would, if I were doing this by myself, I would have left that 55 out to the very end and then dropped it down with the X also. But okay. So 8 minus 3 is 5. X times 5 is 5x equals 55. 5x equals 55. Divide both sides by 5. Those cancel out. 55 divided by 5 is 11. All right. Kieran, you got it as well. Let's try number 9. You do that one. I want everybody to try it. Everybody try number 9. It's okay if you get a wrong answer. I'd rather have you try it, get a wrong answer, and know why you got it wrong than to not try it at all and just watch me do it and think that you know how to do it because you saw me do it. Sometimes doing it yourself is importante. All right. I see that answer, Abby. That looks correctamundo. Give me the yawn in your ear. Apologize. I have to sneeze coming too. If I sneeze, my spleen comes out my nose. So if you see my spleen come out, I always sneeze really hard. So I'm gonna get the other way if I have to sneeze. So who else is working on number 9? So I have a question. Go ahead. Oh, you're still working on it. That's what you're volunteering the information. Good. Going once, going twice. Only one person has sent me over an answer for number 9. Are you waiting for me to do it? One person's still working. Mr. So why would we do the work if you're going to do it for us? Make sure I'm doing this right before you hit a hash mark here. Oh, that's why I got that. There we go. 27 times 3. Let me get that better. Yeah, it's 51. 51 plus 12x plus x equals 49. 51 plus 13x equals 49. Huh. I wrote the answer down correctly, but I've
51, I think it's supposed to be 81. I don't know.
hold on one second. This is 4 times x is 4x, 4 times a negative 32. That's a 5 there. 5, 5, and a negative 32
Yeah,
is,
27 times 3 is 81.
oh, 81. 5, 6, 7.
Hash mark.
Hold on one second. 20. Oh, I was thinking 17. Perfect square. 21, 6, 7, 8, 81. There you go. That's where my problem. Herein lies the problem. It's a negative 27. There we go. There we go, because it's negative 27. There we go. I got it now. Plus 81, plus 81. 13x equals 130. X equals 10. Good job, Abby. All right, I was doing things in my head. Who got
Okay.
the hash mark? There we go. Just doing a job. Abby,
13.
you caught both of them today. You all gonna owe Abby some tacos when we get tacos. They should give you first dibs on the tacos, Abby. So, all right, that was I don't know what I did
You're doing
wrong.
my job. Ho, ho, ho.
Here we go. X equals 10. So you always plug the answer in. And all right, should we try number 10 just for the fun of it? Let's do it. I want everybody to try it. Here, Mr. Soto, why should we try it if you can't even get them right? I could have gotten it right. I just was doing things in my head like a knucklehead. And there we go. There we go. You're not looking at the screen at all, you little cheaters. All right. Little cheaters. Who just cheated on? If you just cheated on my paper, look, raise your hand. Anybody? All right. Cheetahs never prosper, according to the Lion King. I'm sure you already used that joke and told us a whole story about the Lion King that was irrelevant. Why are you doing that to us? We want to know math, not the Lion King. Touche. Okay, let's do it. Follow logic. Here's your problem. I'll mark the parenthesis first. Distributed property in the parenthesis in the bracket. 2 times x is 2x. Yes, good job for those who sending it over. And then I have 2x minus 2, combining all like terms, negative 4 and the positive 2. Distributed property here, 2 times x is 4x, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. I bring down my 5x eventually. 5x plus 4x minus 4 equals 23. Combine like terms, 9x minus 4 equals 23. Once I've gotten to this spot right here, I've simplified everything on the left-hand side of the equal sign, and now I'm using inverse operation. Before that, I've not been using inverse operation. You simplify as much as you can first, then you add 4 to both sides. 9x equals 27, x equals 3. All right, let's go to the next page. Got lots to do. Let me show you something that's going to be important for you in math. X over 5 can also be expressed as 1x over 5, which can also be expressed as 1/5 x. This will be important for you to learn this because when you start adding fractional variables, you may need to do it this way. If the x is in the numerator, like it was originally here, and only if it's in the numerator can you do this, okay? So I have x over 5 can be rewritten because this is the reason why. There's an understood 1 there, and the variable can be expressed as, instead of being in the numerator, it could be outside 1/5 x as a fractional part of that particular numerator, or variable, I mean. So something you haven't learned yet. So I'm teaching you it right now. Anytime you have a variable that is in the numerator, if it has a coefficient, you can just leave that coefficient. If there's no coefficient at all, there's an understood 1 as a coefficient, then take your variable and put it outside of the fractional part and 1/5 x. Same thing can be said for number 2. That looks like this. Negative x over 2 can be expressed as can be also expressed as negative 1/2 x. It's just one of those things you can express an improper fraction in math or a mixed numeral, same exact value, a different way to express it. You've already learned other math functions that are like this as well. So 3 over 2 can also be expressed as 1 and 1/2. I'm not saying this is exactly the same. I'm just saying you are able to express. I mean, if you go 2 into 9, you could say this is 2, I'm sorry, 4, 4 remainder 1, or you could say 4.5, or you could say 4.5. Either of these answers is correct, 2 going into 9. It's 3 different ways to express the same exact answer. That being said, you're not breaking any math principles by expressing this x, negative x over 2 as negative half x. Okay, it's going to help you when you add and subtract fractional variables like you'll do in number 3. So let's do this one here, show you how it works. It says, okay, let's go ahead and just do this in the proper order. In order to add and subtract fractions, we have to have common denominators. But right now, we'll first do this parenthesis here. So we'll say we're going to rewrite this here as 3x plus 3. Let's rewrite this as 1/3 x. Okay? So now we have to add these x's together. So I'm going to make this a 3 here. And we're going to call this 6x, 6. Let me do it this way. 2x is the same as 2 over 1x, right? And then 3, we need the denominator to be 3, so we rewrite the denominator 3. 1 goes into 3 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. So I've written 2 as 2 over 1 as 6 over 3, so I can add to this negative 1/3 fraction. If what I'm doing so far is making sense, put a thumb up. If you're a little lost, let me know. Okay, so in order to add fractions, I have this fractional part right here. In order to add fractions, I have to have a common denominator. Okay, so I need to write 2 as a fraction, so I write 2 as 2 over 1. And then I have to have 2 over 1 with a denominator of 3 because I have to have it common to that denominator there. And so I write this as 3. 1 goes into 3 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 over 3 is the same amount as 2. Okay? I do the same thing with 3x. I make it 9 over 3x. And now I have these fractional parts here. And I'm going to go -1 plus 6 is positive 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. I have 14 over 3x plus 3. My answer is letter B. Okay? That hard? Let's do number 4 together. I have 5x minus 1 minus x over 4. I'm going to rewrite this first, and then I'll rewrite this while I do that. I'll combine two steps. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times the negative 1 is minus 5. 5 times the negative 1 minus 5 minus 1/4 x. Okay? I rewrite this here. Again, there's a couple different ways to do it. I'll do it the way they're telling us to do it. I'm going to write 5 as 5 over 1. Okay? Now I have to have the denominator 4. 1 goes into 4 4 times. 1 goes into 4 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Minus 5 minus 1/4 x. So I have 20 over 4x minus 5. I can combine the like terms here and here. 20, denominators are the same. 20 minus 1 is 19. My denominator is 4. My variable is x. Minus 5 is all by itself. 19 over 4x minus 5 is the correct answer. Letter E. Up, middle, down on those two problems and those two problems alone. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. A couple of people still struggling a bit. This video will be on the YouTube channel. You can watch this again if you'd like to. Let's do this. Let's bypass 5 and 6. Let's do 7 and 8. And then see if we can make sense of these. Okay. I want you to do 1. Which one do you want me to do? 7, 8, or 9, and then I'll have you do the other ones. You can choose the one you think looks the hardest. You can put your audio on and let me know, or just text me over. Okay, we'll do number 8. Okay, watch very carefully, okay? I'm going to write the whole problem up here, first of all, the actual problem itself. Okay, here we have an equals sign, so we're solving for x. So we have to get x all by itself on one side of the equal sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this x over 9, negative x over 9, as negative 1, 9, x plus 5x. I'm sorry, 5 over 3x. I didn't write that down right. Sorry about that. Equals 14. Okay, so now I still have to combine like terms here. And let's keep on going. Okay, I have a negative 19x plus 5 over 3x. In the fifth grade, we learned that in order to add or subtract fractions, we have to have common denominators. The common denominator of 9 and 3 is the least common multiple. The least common multiple of 9 and 3 is 9. Since this is already since this is already 9, we just leave it the same. I go 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. So all I've done is I've rewritten 5 over 3 as 15 over 9. No different than pizzas. A pizza cut into 4 slices, you've eaten 2. Pizza cut in half, you've eaten 1. You've eaten the same amount. 2 over 4 is the same as 1 half. 5 over 3 is the same as 15 over 9. Okay. Once I have the common denominators, I say all I have to do is this. I need to solve for the numerator. A negative 1 plus a positive 15 is 14 over 9x. Since 15 over 9 is a greater value than this, it's a positive 14 over 9 is equal to 14. Okay? Now watch what I do. And you learned this once before. Anytime you multiply a fraction by its reciprocal, it cancels out. So I'm going to multiply this by 9 over 14. The reason I do that is because watch. I now have x by itself. I'm using inverse operation when I do that, so I have to do the same thing to both sides. Those 14s cancel out. X, as Kieran told us, is equal to 9. That is correct. On that problem alone, thumbs up, pointer finger in the middle, thumbs down, count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Perfect. Lots of thumbs up. Good job. We're getting it. Let's do this. There's actually an easier way to do this problem, and I'm not even going to show you because they don't want me to show you yet. So there's a way that's 100 times easier to do this problem, and you'll have to learn the hard way and trudge through these difficult problems. And then a little later, when I show you the easier method, you're going to say, "Mr. Soto, why didn't you show us that before?" And I'm going to say, "I don't know. They didn't want me to, so they wanted you to learn the hard way first." But you go ahead and do number 7 right now. Send me over an answer when you get it right, or when you get done, I should say. Don't be cheating off me, you little cheaters. Little cheaters. Does anybody know how to do the better way? If you do, don't tell everybody. We'll teach them that later. There's a way that's so much easier on these fractions. I hate working with fractions. Good job. Good job. Here we go. 5x minus x over 2 equals 9. 5x minus 1 half x equals 9. I just rewrote the x over 2 as 1 half x because I can do that mathematically. I changed 5 over 1 to 5 over 1. Then I get the common denominator of 2. 10 over 2 is the same as 5, but it's got the same denominator. Once the denominators are the same, I add or subtract the numerators. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 over 2x. I multiply by its reciprocal. So I'd multiply by 2 over 9. That cancels out. Anything you do to one side of the equal sign, you do to the other side of the equal sign. When you use inverse operation, reciprocal is inverse operation. The 9's cancel out, x equals 2. All right, let's try number 9. All right, those who are sending over answers, got it. Again, x minus x over 4 equals 3 is here. I rewrite it as x minus 1/4 x because I can do that. There's an understood 1 here, so I write 1 as 4 over 4 because any number over itself is equal to 1, and I need 4 as my denominator, so I rewrite it as 4 over 4. Now I have 4 over 4x minus 1/4 x. 4 minus 1 is 3/4 x. I get to here. Once I get to here, I have it simplified. Now I'm going to use inverse operation to get x by itself. So I multiply 3/4 x by the reciprocal of the fraction, the fractional coefficient, 4 over 3. Those cancel out. Anything I do to one side, I do to the other side. 3 over 1, multiplied by 4 over 3. The 3's cancel out. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 over 1 is just equal to 4. X equals 4 is your answer. We're out of time. Getting a little tougher, guys, right? How many are having fun thus far? All right. No class next week. If you're not to lesson 38, all the even ones done and all the tests. Your goal next week is to finish those. If you need any help, every single lesson somewhere is on the YouTube channel. The ones that we've done on Thursdays are all there. If you go back far enough, you can find the ones. I used to do the other lessons on Thursday. I'm staggering in this year. So the lessons from Tuesday, if you missed a Tuesday class, will be somewhere in the archives. You might have to navigate a little bit to find them. But other than that, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And we will taco to you on a week from Tuesday, the 18th. Peace out.